Vienna is famous for its imperial past, stunning architecture, and its cafe culture. Cafes are a way of life in Vienna, and today we are diving fork first into the city's sweetest spots. We're Madison and Ivan. Let's madventure.
I am so excited. We're here at Cafe Demel, and we actually came here day one with our Austrian friend just for the free smells. He took us in and showed us just the beautiful downstairs showroom of all of the gorgeous cakes and pastries. And we had a busy day that day, but we literally just stood there and sniffed the beautiful pastries, and today we are finally back to actually eat them. So Cafe Demel started in 1786. You'll notice when you're in Austria that there's several bakeries that have KUK in the name, and that means that they actually were royally appointed to provide sweets and confectionaries for the emperor. So this is literally one of the emperor's favorite sweet shops, and we're at a 3-minute walk from the Hofburg Palace right now. So I can definitely imagine the emperor was getting these fresh, delicious sweets brought to him. We are starting with the Kaiserschmarrn. This is what our local friend told us we absolutely must get. This is what we went back and smelled the day that we came in here, and I've been looking forward to this ever since because it is heavenly. Kaiserschmarrn literally translates to the emperor's mess. Legend has it that the empress Sisi, who's very famous, if you don't know about her, you can watch the show The Empress on Netflix. It's so good. She was very obsessed with keeping a very small waistline, and she told the chef, I only want very light meals, very light desserts, I'm trying to keep it slim, and that he served this, and she was like, this is absolutely not what I asked for. This is so sweet and indulgent. No. And Emperor Franz Joseph I said, serve me this mess then. I want to see the mess my chef cooked up. Schmarrn is the word for mess in German. And so he gets this dessert, takes a bite of it, and is like, this is incredible. And so it's called Kaiserschmarrn, the emperor's mess, the mess that he absolutely loved. So without further ado, the emperor's mess looks like almost like a chopped up pancake, but it has all different textures, and it's served with this plum jam. But I'm gonna try it on its own first. I think that Austria might be my sweet tooth's favorite place we've ever been. They just do the best job of finding the right balance between sweet and a little salty, a little bit savory. And this is exactly what is going on here. It is so good. The texture is perfect. It has this crisp outside but doughy inside. And the balance, it's just the perfect amount of sweetness. Always. I'm gonna dip it in this is a plum sauce. It's just so good. You can definitely tell that there's an amazing amount of butter going into this. The buttery, sweet pancake, great combination of doughy and crisp. And then you add the plum sauce, and it's adding just the right amount of tart, just the right amount of some more pie spices. Absolutely delicious. I get why the emperor was happy to have this named after him. This is a very delicious mess. There's only a few in here, but we have found a raisin. So there's some rum raisins in here.
I get what the hype is about. It is totally worth it. I'm nibbling at it because I want it to last longer. It is so good.
So we also had to get the hot chocolate. Oh my gosh. This is one of the best hot chocolates I've ever had in my life, which is very good because it was 10 euros almost, which is a lot to spend on a hot chocolate, but worth it, honestly. So good. Just rich, delicious chocolate flavor. Once again, just the right amount of sweetness. Austria knows what they're doing. And then the whipped cream is literally whipped cream. There's no added sugar. It's just the perfect creaminess to add to this already incredible creamy beverage. This is fantastic. You can tell that they're using really, really good milk as well. This is not your average Swiss Miss. We usually choose what we're gonna get at a cafe based on which ones, you know, they put their names on. Well, they put their names on almost everything here. They stand by like everything they serve. So this is the Demel hot chocolate, the Demel Kaiserschmarrn. There's a reason this place has survived since 1786. It is because they know what they're doing. They're using incredible ingredients to do it, and it shows. Fantastic. Here is the bakery, and here is the Hofburg Palace. So it really wasn't a long walk when he was delivering candy covered violets. And we're gonna make that walk right now and go to the museum.
Cafes in Vienna are such an important part of the culture here. It's actually listed on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list. It's all about this incredible, beautiful vibe. These marble tables, these beautiful plush booths and chairs, just being a place where intellectuals gather. Literally this cafe, Cafe Central, is where philosophers and musicians and artists and revolutionaries came together. Freud worked here on a regular basis. This is a Viennese coffee with steamed milk in the bottom and then served with frothed milk on the top, called a Wiener Melange. It just hits the spot. And something I love about cafes here in Vienna is a coffee almost always comes with a water. And while coffee is a classic part of cafe culture here in Vienna, what our Viennese friend taught us is that the actual most important part is the sweets. And of course, we had to get the one that's literally named for Cafe Central. This is the Cafe Central torte. And has marzipan on the top. Ivan and I are not usually fans of marzipan, but there's something about marzipan in Austria. They just do it right. Maybe don't try it other places in Europe, but do try it here. And then this is like an apricot liqueur cake here in the middle. If it's named after the cafe itself, it's gotta be good. So we had to give it a try. Beautiful. That is delicious. It has like this nutty and fruitiness to it that is just next level. The apricot is a huge deal here in Austria, and I'm so glad it is because like it's just phenomenal in everything. The marzipan is just adding this like perfect creaminess. It's a thin layer, adding this creaminess, adding this kind of like nuttiness. Almonds and apricot flavors coming together in the perfect, most delicious harmony. I get why this is the sweet that you would choose to name after your cafe. Absolutely delicious. This cafe started in 1876, and it is incredible that even though 150 years later, it pulls in so many tourists, they've still really kept these inspiring, thought-provoking vibes. And if the vibes aren't enough to get you thinking, this is today's papers, but from like all over the world.
We're talking a lot about cafes that are known for different amazing desserts and dishes that are just like so original, so incredible, and like that those are the place to get them. This is not one of those cafes. I'm sure this is gonna be delicious, but this cafe is all about the stunning location. Here in the middle of the art museum. We've already been to one of Vienna's other most beautiful cafes, Cafe Central, but I think that this takes the cake. This is called a Cardinal Schnitt, and it was recommended by our lovely waiter. So we'll see. I have no idea because every other sweet we're trying for the most part today has been like looked into ahead of time. I'm excited. Gotta get this from here, this from here. This is just a surprise. This is very delicious though. Like meringue here on the top. Meringue is my favorite. Then it has like a bit of a cream here in the middle. There's like a classic vanilla cream. I have a tiny bit of raspberry jam here in the middle. It's a little tart, but it's just pairing so well with the creamy vanilla delicious center and the meringue on top and bottom. This actually is my kind of dessert. We came here for the location, but the sweet is incredible too. To get to this cafe, you also do have to pay admission to the museum, and it's just an absolutely stunning museum to begin with. So many stunning art pieces from the biggest masters in the world, but also the building itself is such an incredible work of art. And this cafe is just absolutely perfect to be able to be here, just like really truly taking it all in. We are at Cafe Sacher, but this is the original sacher torte. So you will see sacher torte on the menu everywhere you go in Vienna. Like, this is one of the top pastries in the city to try when you come here, but this is the original at Cafe Sacher. The guy who started this restaurant's father actually created the dish for the Prince of Austria way back in 1832. He was just the 16-year-old apprentice, but the lead chef was sick and there was a special event coming that night. All the pressure was on, and he created this beautiful, delicious torte. And then the son, actually, kind of fun fact, he studied at Demel before he opened this place. I expect great things from someone that trained at that delicious spot. So it is a chocolate cake with 3 layers of apricot jam here, and of course delicious whipped cream. I love how Austria, they always have this amazing freshly whipped whipped cream, unsweetened. I love that there's beautiful classical music playing here in the background, and it's kind of creating a heavenly atmosphere. As you take a bite, it's like the angels are singing. That was truly amazing. Chocolate and apricot are like the perfect combination. The apricot jam and the delicious chocolate on top are adding so much moisture. It is so good. I mean, the dark, rich chocolate is fantastic. There's so much delicious butter in here as well that you're tasting. This is so good. People might tell you that this is overrated. I was told that this was overrated. I'm glad that they have been proven wrong. They sell about 1,000 of these cakes a day. There is a person that works in the kitchen whose job it is to just crack eggs, because every single one of these cakes has 4 eggs in them. Man, this might be my favorite video that we've made in a long time. This cake was originally made in the 1830s. This cafe opened up in 1876. There's a reason why it has lasted all of this time, and it is because, despite what people say, it is actually delicious. Dab on those haters, Cafe Sacher. Probably one of the best chocolate cakes I've ever had. Also, I think, whoa, you can definitely see it behind the camera. People here now. Having a little too many sweets in this video. I think it was worth it, but just know, these are the risks of cafe hopping your way through Vienna.
Another day, another cafe. So far, we've mostly been going to cafes that we've never been to before, trying things we've never had before, but it was time to show you one of our all-time favorites. So
So we are here at Oberla. We've actually never been to this location before. This one's so cool and historic, but they actually have one also at the main train station here in Vienna. So if you're traveling anywhere, I highly recommend going to that one too to get some sweets for the road. But here we're actually right by Schönbrunn Palace. So it's the perfect way to start the day before exploring. And we got a punch Krapfen. This is like my all-time favorite Vienna sweet. It's very similar to a petit four if you've had one of those. Honestly, like the cutest pink sweet. I absolutely love it. Ooh. Super moist. And then in the middle, there's like an apricot liqueur soaked cake with a little bit of marzipan. It's just so good. Pink frosting is like super sweet, but then when you get a taste that's more cake, less frosting, it's like the balance of the like apricot liqueur, so fruity and delicious, but also the like kind of earthiness of the almond extract and the marzipan. And it's just this perfect blend. It's so good. I love this so much. And what a place to be enjoying it. The train station is great because you can take it to go, but here like we got beautiful chandeliers. Just like in Cafe Central, they have like all of the newspapers, so full of like locals enjoying their lovely Saturday morning. It's just awesome. When you're in Vienna, this is like one of my all-time faves. Highly recommend. And then Ivan also decided to get one that we have had before that is his favorite.
Toffen strudel. Strudel, you might think, oh, you didn't get the apple strudel? I am a fan of their other very popular strudel, the Toffen strudel, filled with a cheese curd inside. I like dessert, but I like my dessert mildly sweetened. I like a lot of play on textures. Creamy desserts, love them. And this is checking all of the boxes. I'm also not a very big fruit person, so that eliminates like half the desserts right off the bat. But I have had this one before. It is one of my favorites here in Austria. So simple, all about execution. You've got to have that nice, crispy, you can just tell, look at that, just holding its own. It's talking to me. It's saying, eat me, eat me, eat me. That nice, crispy, but thin outer layer with a nice, creamy, moist cheese curd in the middle. If you look here, they actually have rum raisins, and I said I wasn't a fan of fruits. I make an exception for the Toffenstrudel because those rum raisins are quite delicious, and they're mild. You know, they're playing second fiddle to the nice cheese curd and the crispy crust. We know what Oberla knows their stuff, so it is no surprise at all that is a excellent, delicious Toffenstrudel. One of the best I've had. The magic is in that curd. So nice, so fresh. It has like this natural airiness to it, lightness. And I've been raving about the cheese curd, but the pastry is nothing to joke about either. Such nice, crisp, delicious. We're a wave of deliciousness. Which makes sense because strudel translates to a whirlpool, with just the wraps and wraps of this delicious pastry, which is actually kind of unique to this dessert. We've had quite a few Austrian desserts in this video now. None of them have this thin layer of pastry, and it's believed to have come from the Ottoman Empire out east, which makes sense. It reminds me so much of like the layers of pastry on a baklava. Absolutely delicious.
Cafe culture in Vienna is truly special. This is probably my sweet tooth's favorite place we've ever been. Thank you so much for joining us for this delicious madventure. It would be so sweet if you could hit those subscribe and like buttons. It really does help us so much. We'll see you on the next one, and until then, watch one of these videos. YouTube picked it out just for you.